How many of us could have imagined that 2020 would have turned out like this? A pandemic sweeping the world, from the smallest villages to the biggest cities. And here we are in the middle of something we didn't expect or sign up for. We'll go back a couple of years ago. Dear friends Steve and Cindy Rethmeier were up visiting us. We started talking about these old songs called spirituals. We were sort of stirred by the story behind those songs, the suffering, the injustice, and how people responded with both honesty and expression of their pain, but also defiant hope. So Cindy and I asked ourselves, what would it sound like if we wrote a modern spiritual in our musical mother tongue?
I can't remember the exact stories of our friends, the things that were happening in people's lives when we wrote this song together, but I was thinking about other people and wanting to infuse hope into situations that seemed scary and unpredictable.
We spent over a year back and forth writing this song. Of course, we didn't know what circumstances were coming, but we began to write, and we used phrases like, in the middle of this loss, in the middle of this fear, in the middle of this change, your peace. That phrase, your peace, became our expression of hope, that realization that no matter what it is we're in the middle of, we are not alone.
There was one night in particular where my anxiety level was so high that I couldn't imagine falling asleep. And the words, in the middle of this loss, uninvited suffering. And I thought, uninvited, that's what this feels like. I didn't ask for this. And the only constant in it is your peace. So I sang the words over and over to myself until I fell asleep. And I woke up in the middle of the night and sang them again. So having that song become words for me to sing over myself the same way that I would over my kids when they couldn't fall asleep or when they'd wake up in the middle of the night has been such a gift.
2020 started. I had no plans to go into the recording studio, and all of a sudden the ripples grew to like tidal waves of impact with this pandemic. And I thought, we are in the middle of a life-changing, world-changing situation here. Perhaps the song is for now.
I would have to say the other gift in the process of this song, Brian and I have written a lot together, but we've never recorded with Bobby.
This was my very first time being produced by Bobby Hartree.
Bobby and I have recorded a lot together, and to have Bobby and Brian together for this just meant so much to me.
When you turn over a song to a producer, you are relinquishing some control. You are just kind of like, here it is. And one of the jokes or lines I used at one point when Cindy, Bobby, and I were having this conversation was, well, there used to be 2 chefs in the kitchen, Cindy and me, and now there's 3. And if we're gonna welcome Bobby in, we have to let him be a chef. We have to let him influence the recipe. We have to add his special spice. And I think at the end of the day, you have in the middle, which has that influence from all of us.
Bobby brings a fresh sound and breathes some ideas into it that bring life to the song.
So yeah, there's a lot of light, there's a lot of hope, there's a lot of peace that is offered in a song like this. In the middle is a song about the paradox of life. There's hard things right alongside good things. There are gifts of peace right in the middle of seasons of grief and loss.
I hope this song is helpful and brings peace to you, not only during this pandemic, but in all the circumstances of life.
And we hope that when you hear this song, you get a deep sense that you are not alone, that whatever it is you're going through in the middle of this strange season of pandemic, that you will experience the gift of peace in the middle of your life.